Hey everyone, it's baze.djunkiii transmitting from Hamburg, Germany, back with a new video. Still a little exhausted and wasted and, well, not really broken, but maybe hungover from last night when I played my first show after the Corona thing ever. So yeah, traveled to Kiel last night to play a DJ set, came back early this morning and didn't stay there because it's just a 70 minutes train ride up north, came back, drank a little, had a nice time, even though the party wasn't that packed because a lot of things were going on in the city of Kiel at the same time. So this happened, and now still exhausted, but there's time and there's the urgency to shoot another unboxing video because I received mail again coming in from Norway, which is not a EU country, so once again I had to pay a little bit of import fee on that, and this comes from a city that is called Fjellstrand, which is well, a Norwegian village, city, whatever, which I'm not aware of, so I haven't looked up where it is exactly in Norway, but Norway is always for me associated with either jazz in some form or folk, like the Hardanger fiddle thing, or metal, like a lot of Scandinavian countries. Most of the population seem to be into metals and stuff. So I don't have any idea what this is. The name of the guy, I suppose it's a guy that sent this to me, is not necessarily familiar to me, so it doesn't ring a bell immediately, but maybe there is a kind of press sheet in there that will reveal a little bit more what this is, where this comes from. And now, as this is properly packed, I'm trying to open this, which seemed to work, which is nice. And what we got here is a CD, obviously, which comes in from... I've seen or heard the label name, actually. And the label name is Spuma, which is has a very interesting spelling. So this is like a label name you recognize and remember, as soon as you've seen it once. And okay, now breaking the artist name up into or the name of the sender up into the actual alias he uses. This artist name rings a bell for me. So here it is, a press release for an album on the Spuma label by Juhani Silvola. I have read that name. I cannot remember right now off the top of my head where, but probably he was involved in another Spuma release I have reviewed, but the name is now kind of familiar. I didn't recognize it when I saw it on the envelope. The album is called Wolf Hour Roundelay, and is a 9-track album by Juhani Silvola, actually, a Finnish-Norwegian guitarist, plays prepared acoustic guitars and electronics, and is involved in kind of avant folk, which is influenced by Finnish, Norwegian and Scottish traditions and electro-acoustic contemporary music. Has also worked with Niels Petter Molvær, which is a pretty famous name, which has been big in the so-called new jazz scene as well. So that kind of scene where you mix jazz with electronic dance floor instruments, think trip hop sped up a little bit with jazz elements and a lot of broken beats and stuff. And Niels Petter Molvær had some hits or some recognition in that scene as well, as far as I remember. But this was ages ago, but still is a household name in that scene, for being that one of the prominent figures of that scene of the Scandinavian jazz electronic crossover things. And also worked with Sarah Jane Summers, a violin player I'm not really familiar with. And this album deals with what he calls speculative sonic archaeology, and a little bit of ritual music made by a civilization that would have stepped off the pages of a Georges-Louis Bourget's story. Okay, another name I'm not familiar with. Prepared acoustic pianos, guitars in there, a little bit piano, and yeah, and it's like many Scandinavian albums, once again recorded in a church, actually. I guess in the Aas church in Norway. You can read that here. There's this Scandinavian A with the like little circle on top. I'm not too sure how to pronounce this, but I'm going with Oz at this point because I feel this is something I've heard. So yeah, folkish avant things with a beautiful artwork, which is like a fantastic painting kind of. The CD is a little bit bigger than normal CDs. This looks kind of magical. A lot of interesting creatures on here, like a hyena, like a dragon, like big mushrooms. But have a look for yourself. This looks like a thing from a fairy tale kind of, or from a fantasy film. This is catalog number Spuma 072 as far as I can see. Here's the back. And the CD looks like this. Here's a photo of Johanni Silvola there, and there's also the CD inside, which is, oh, this is nice, which I like this, that a lot of CDs have this kind of paper inserts as well, so especially with those cardboard trays, because this protects the CD a little bit more, and this looks like a magical circle of sorts. So I think this will be very chill musically, so more like not really ambient, but in that kind of ambient relaxation realm, but paired with like folk music and stuff. So this is what my feeling about this one is, like from the first glance. Actually might be very dreamy and yeah, very probably psychedelic if I look at the cover. So a lot of things going on there, and I'm gonna review that on my website NightSLC throughout the next week, of course. Yeah, a little rough unboxing. Still have to like fully recover from last night, and I'm looking forward to go to Kiel once again on 14th of October for the first BETA-ZERFALL party we're gonna do there. And an interesting thing, you can see that on my website stickerlove and worlddomination.com. When I entered the backstage, actually, when I met like a band that was playing a concert show before usually the club works like this, that they have like a concert going on, and there is a changeover, and then there's a party in the weekends. And yeah, the band was Das blühende Leben from Mannheim, which were like dirty, gritty German lyrics, indie stuff, very good, interesting stuff. And yeah, when I entered the backstage, I recognized there was still a sticker, one of those Bass Junkies Not Afraid of Swine stickers I put out on the street when this was the swine flu pandemic thing like 15 years ago. And one of those stickers survived like a changeover of the club and like the change of ownership and whatever, and was still sitting there unchanged, unbothered, in kind of pristine condition on the wall of the backstage area, which was very nice to see that like I left a mark in the club the last time I've been there, or whenever that was like before 2012 for sure. And that mark still has haunted that club ever since. So this was a nice thing to discover. Yeah, now I'm gonna go into editing mode, I guess, just to get this video up, and I'm gonna shoot another one soon, because I have like a double feature envelope from, I guess, Sweden sitting here as well, and we'll see what comes in next week. So Bass Junkie out for now. See you in the next one.